Hello, everybody. Welcome to Full Interest. Yay! My Hero Academia. I
Yay!
have legitimate enthusiasm now because I may have just in the past couple of hours finished catching up on the manga for My Hero Academia, which is the show we're reviewing, by the way, episode.
I spent so long trying to tell him to read the manga, and then finally, when he gets an idea for a story, there it goes.
Yep. Had a real reason to do it. And frankly, yeah, I still probably would have preferred to just watch the anime if I had the choice, but I needed to know.
I
So,
feel like the manga does some things better than the anime does some things better than the manga.
yeah, like there are some things that will have to be taken out for the sake of the anime, like references to popular cultural phenomena.
They
Like,
already removed the Mega Man X reference and the Mario reference.
yep,
Um,
I get the
so yeah,
feeling. I get the feeling Team Reservoir Dogs are going to get a filthy acts at a reasonable price treatment in the anime. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, not
and
not not that that's a big deal because they are literally there for a single page. But yeah,
as a general thing, I will say the anime has been doing a good job of turning the more messy arcs that Horikoshi has done and organizing them in a way that is much easier to keep track of.
yeah. Oh, I should establish, even though I've seen, I've read the manga up to the current chapter, which was 189. It's we're still not going to do spoilers because, of course, not. This
Yeah,
is
no.
for reviewing the anime. We're just talking about it because it's very recent that I finished it and have a lot more context than I used to have. And yeah, so
Go read Vigilantes next. There's a lot of stuff there.
yeah, that's pretty much. But I ate recently. Next on
Yeah.
the list. So
That's on the I think that's on the Funimation website. You can read that. Um,
based on how wonderful the Funimation website is in general, I think I'll find alternative sources. But sure.
yeah, it just updates there first. So
Mm.
um, so today we're looking at My Hero Academia season 3, episode 13 in this order, or whatever in the full order list.
51, I believe. Yeah, 51. It
Yeah.
started at 39, so
Um,
51.
so this is we end with we end kind
Oh,
of.
also,
Oh, sorry.
I thought there was no episode this week, but, falsified informational updates and such things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So last week we ended with Inko, Deku's mother, saying she would let Deku go to UA. This episode starts with her, thinking it through, get some of her internal thoughts of if his hero speaks so highly of him, I can't imagine how happy he is. I can't take that away from him because I just want him to be happy.
Hmm. Alive would also be nice, but happy is good too.
She's hoping that he can do it.
Hmm.
She's having faith in her son, and that's nice. That's supportive. Um, so dorms. We get a brief cut to Principal Nezu,
Hmm.
who explains, yeah, the dorms are meant to kind of they're a big public display of our protection for the students.
But it's
Uh,
also bait.
yeah, we're trying to find the traitor,
Mhm.
and it pains my heart to have to think it might be one of the students, but I have to make sure, and we have to monitor them.
Hmm.
We can't risk this happening again.
Hmm. Every time you bring up the traitor, I just immediately, literally running through a list of names in my head every single time.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories.
Hmm.
Um, I think the most popular one is Toru, the
Yeah,
Invisible Girl.
everyone thinks
Um,
that.
Everyone thinks that. It could turn out to be completely different. It could turn out to be one of the teachers we currently don't know. And even up to this point in the manga, we still don't know. And I think they're holding off on this for a long time, and that's good. Don't play all your cards at once.
Just make sure they're there for when you do show us that they're there. That's also important. Ass pulls are not good. They're not good.
Yeah. With All for One essentially out of commission, I don't know exactly if the trader reported to All for One or Shigaraki. We don't know how they operated at all. So,
well, good thing we can say is that they brought up the idea of there being a traitor very early, which says good things. Like if they can say, "Hey, maybe there's a traitor." If they are any kind of decent writer, which Horikoshi obviously is at this point, the amount of praise we've laid on this guy, good writer. Yeah. If you lay it down, the idea that there's a traitor that early, you already know who they are, and you're already laying seeds for who they're going to turn out to be. So,
yeah, it's nice to have that at least.
Yeah.
So, there was a cut scene, which we didn't get to see at all. Particularly when All for One went to prison, which we saw at the end of the last episode, but we didn't see the full particular part of that scene. And I don't know if we're going to get to that later. I don't think we will. But it was the one where he's like, "Where are we?" And the guy's like, "We're in a prison." And All for One says, I couldn't tell. There's all this infrared going around, so I see him in the prison. To which the guard is like, "You can't see?" "No, I'm blind. I use a quirk to try to see all an infrared using quirk to try to determine where the locations of things are." So All for One was essentially blind during that fight.
Yeah.
And also, there is this is probably going to end up showing up in the next episode, and I'm just saying things way too early. But if it does, it's not that big of a deal. There's a brief shot of Stain in the prison. The same prison where All for One is locked up. And that's not touched again, as far as I know, in the current run of the manga.
Well, they might bring up those scenes for something that's coming up in the near future.
Yeah. I hope they do. If not, that's what they were. It's nice to read the manga and see the anime because you get to see what parts are cut. Because there are some parts that do get cut and some parts that do get completely removed or rearranged.
Or expanded upon. Like, the dorm thing here gets quite a bit more detail.
Or the part with, or when Tropi got her own episode. On canon events, might I add.
That was fun.
I hope we get more canon filler, I guess. Because it's usually really good. So, meanwhile, UA. Big dorms built basically overnight or over a few days because they have cement toss who can very easily help with construction, and other construction quirks are probably helping.
Yeah, let's say big for Japan. This is actually about the same size as my dorm building at university, but big for Japan, let's say.
Big considering they just built one for each class.
Also true.
So 1A gets theirs, 1B gets theirs, 2A gets theirs, 2B gets theirs, 3A gets theirs, 3B gets theirs. That's like 6 dorms of that size.
Yeah.
So, good on Cement Toss working overnight.
I mean, there's probably a lot of construction-type heroes that do that kind of work on a regular basis. That
especially with how much destruction happens.
And repair is a thing that just goes on all of the time in this setting. It has to, by sheer logistics of the amount of destruction that you were literally just talking about,
Especially with Mount Lady running around. So...
yeah.
So, they get up front, and Aizawa's there, and he says, "So, here's the thing. We got to prepare you guys to go get your provisional licenses. Because you're supposed to be there at the training camp for, but that got interrupted. And I do want to say, were it not for All Might's entire retirement, all of you, except for Jiro, Toru, and Bakugo, since those two were unconscious and Bakugo was kidnapped, would be expelled.
Yep.
Because you five over there, you
went and got involved with heroics without anyone's permission and got into an incredibly dangerous situation, may or may not have gotten involved in a fight where you may have hampered the abilities of an ongoing hero operation, and the rest of you fuckers knew and didn't stop them at all. Or tell anyone.
Just be lucky that I'm retired. So, anyways, have some energy, guys. See you later.
Yeah, I think it was have some energy. Let's go look around. Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, because it's Aizawa.
At this point, Bakugo drags Kaminari behind a bush, somehow convinces him to indiscriminate shock.
Yeah. And then thrusts him out in front of everybody. He's like, yay!
Yeah. I don't quite know how he managed to convince him to do that, but okay.
I think through the power of his fist. So, Jiro sees that and immediately bursts out laughing, and it just lightens the mood up a lot, since everyone was feeling pretty depressed by that. And he walks over to Kirishima. Yeah. I kept thinking Kaminari. I'm like, no, another K. And hands him the what was it, 4,000, 5,000?
40.
He hands him the money used.
45,000 yen, so about $450.
He hands him the money that Kirishima used for the night vision goggles, and repays that. And this is, I really like this because this is the first time that Bakugo tries to interact with the group in a positive way. So it showed that he's had some thinking to do, and he's been through a lot, and he's not very good socially. Like that's yeah. That's been shown throughout the entire series that he's made it through middle school based on everybody being in awe of his quirk and not any actual social ability. And so this is his own way of trying to help the group. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, because at this point, it's basically been shown to him that pretty much every single one of them has his back when he really needs it, just by dint of the rescue operation that the 5 of them helped with, and pretty much everyone else allowed to happen.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't necessarily agree with it.
So Buck goes in and goes straight to sleep.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Aizo's explaining, okay, so boys on the left, girls on the right, laundry room, bathroom, they're separate, and Mina's just drooling, and, at this point, he's become... okay, so at first, when he was first introduced, he was a little bit perverted. Horikoshi has gone out of his way to make Mina just seem like this weird little, sex-obsessed monster that everyone actively ignores.
Yeah, during the sports festival, Momo calls him the worst, and it's just he used her as a piggyback so that he could get to the finish line. That's actually kind of clever if the ulterior motives make him a bit of a creeper, but, it's legitimate, it's fair. That was part of the rules. He could do that. But then he starts to actually legitimately become the worst. He is grotesque at this point. In the manga, for this part, Kaminari, his usual partner in crime for this sort of shit, is dude, seriously, get a grip on yourself.
Yeah.
And it only gets worse from here. So,
So Mineta is he's essentially a parody at this point.
Yeah. A self-parody, even.
A parody of himself.
Mm.
And I'm not too bothered by it. I guess he is he's never successful in any of his perverted stuff, and everybody hates him. So
yeah, he's kind of meant to be grotesque, but if that's the way they're going to go with it now, then the part at the end of the exam, at the end of the second season, where he's supposed to be redeemed a little bit, that was a mistake.
It was...
If this is the way they're taking his character now, it was a mistake to try and make him seem kind of okay in hindsight.
Yeah, but, hindsight's 20/20. So they go and they do a dorm. Little fun game. We're going to go see who has the best dorm room.
Everyone unpacks, and it takes them until well past nightfall because, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Having just unpacked my room, I understand that. So they all go and do a little dorm test, see who has the best room.
Yeah, at the behest of the girls, they're all like, we should have a competition to see who has the best room. By which they mean all of the boys and not any of their rooms, obviously, because they're girls. And bedrooms are private places. You don't let just anyone in there.
Bakugo is just unconscious because, and so they go through the various rooms. Izuku's is as to be expected.
Yeah.
But Ochiko is supportive, so that's good. That's all that matters
supportive
in the end.
This is what a nerd's room looks like. Or otaku, I guess.
But she seemed excited and happy when she said it. So that's all that
she
matters.
Seems excited and happy when she says anything.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. Ugh. So...
Next, I think we get Tokoyami's, I want to say.
Tokoyami, who has the various swords.
He's just sort of leaning on the door saying, how ridiculous, this whole enterprise. And he's just sort of firmly standing there while everyone's trying to push him out of the way so that they can get in.
And they look in and it's completely dark and he's got all the black and he has a sword.
He has vampire bat motif on his fucking window.
It's a room that I could admire.
I had that room when I was 14. And point of order, what's his name? Kirishima picks up a keychain hanging on the wall and he's like, oh yeah, I bought one of these when I was in middle school.
It's
literally calling Mitsumi.
It's the middle school keychain that looks like a cool sword.
Yeah.
And if you look in the manga, he has a rack of them. Because it's brighter in the manga, you can see that he has a rack of those keychains. He collects them. Tokoyami just never changed.
My chuny bird boy. It's great.
They go through all of the various ones. You have Sero, who has the very, chic Asian one.
Yeah, let's say more Indian Asian than, Far East Asian.
Yeah. You have Todoroki, who has the very traditional Japanese one.
Yeah, he had to replace remodel the entire room because he just wasn't comfortable without tatami mats.
How do you do that?
Which he put up shoji doors on the outside of his fucking room as well. Good God.
He worked hard.
Yeah, he worked hard. He's also very sleepy and constantly complaining about it. I wonder why.
Tailman.
This room is really normal. Yeah, it's surprising how normal it is. Yeah, it's a pretty normal room. You guys don't have to say anything if you can't think of anything.
They go towards Mina's room and then turn away.
Yeah,
because that's not a good idea at all.
Correct answer.
Sato, Sugar Man, he has a pretty nice room, and he's was making a cake, and his quirk revolves around sugar, so he learned how to make his own sweets. And so, through the power of bribery, everybody loves his room.
Yeah, and there's also what's his name? Mask guy, Tentacles.
Yeah.
Tentacle. Let's just call him Tentacle. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
His room is quote unquote minimalist, which is to say it has a futon and a desk, and that's it. In fact, I don't think it even has a desk. It has like a dresser for clothes.
He's not one to have lots of earthly belongings. Aoyama's room is just sparkles.
Yep. Sparkle, sparkle.
That's it. At that point, they decide, Mineta pushes to include the girls' rooms. Because Mineta would.
And also, because it's actually kind of a fair point.
Yeah.
Which is why most of the other boys are like, yeah, we should actually do that. That's actually
let's make it fair.
Like, broken clock is correct twice a day, so the creeper has a point. So let's check out the girls' rooms.
So, Momo, being rich, has a bed that is too big to fit into her room.
Oh yeah, and earlier she pointed out, oh hey, these rooms are almost the same size as the closets and back home.
She's very rich and very airheaded. Thank you, Momo. Never change.
Yeah. She's great though.
Jiro has a very punk rock room, lots of musical instruments and everything.
Yeah. Which she set up a drum kit. That's kind of not cool in shared dorms, but whatever.
We'll see if she plays it. Toru has a very normal girly room with lots of pink and fluffy animals.
Yeah.
One of them had somebody had a bunny. Who had a pet?
That was what's his name? Animal voice guy, I think.
Oh, Coda.
Yeah, because he likes animals.
I always forget about Coda. Yeah, he had an animal, and it was fluffy.
It's a bunny. Oh, we didn't talk about Ida's room. We completely forgot about Ida.
I was gonna talk about it, and then we switched gears. So
yeah,
Ida
he has a private library and also like 6 shelves filled with glasses, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I that makes sense. I expect him to get damaged during training." Which, valid point.
His glasses broke in the stain arc.
And then when they're playing with the bunny, Ochiko and Ashido have Ida's glasses on. It was a very subtle joke that I really appreciated, that they nicked his glasses.
Speaking of Ashido, her room is very like hot pink and black.
Yeah, she has a color scheme that she likes.
Yeah, go figure.
Ochiko has a really normal room.
She doesn't have a lot because she comes from a somewhat poorer family, so everything that she has is just kind of what she needs to survive. There's a bunch of side stories in the manga about her trying to save money.
And Tsuyu we don't get to see because she's hiding in her room for reasons that we will go over later.
Eventually that's everyone.
Yep, that's everyone. They go downstairs and have a vote to see who has the best room, and you can't vote for yourselves. Being quickly pointed out by, I think, Ida or someone else.
And the winner with 5 votes is Sato, because he bribed him with cake.
Because his cake was good.
That's all
bribery. That's not very heroic. I didn't, but I'm pretty happy about how this turned out. Actually, yeah.
It's nice to see him get actual lines.
Yeah,
he doesn't get them very often.
An actual character moment. It was really nice.
So Ochiko calls him down. The 5, right when Todoroki's about to leave, and says, "Hey, can you guys come with me for a minute?" Goes down, and there's Sue.
Yeah, out front of the building, by the way. Yeah, so they're outside.
Out in front of the building, and Sue basically explains that she didn't know that they were going to continue on even after hearing what she said, which was basically condemning them as villains if they did it. and after that, she didn't quite know how to face them. She finally stopped them,
Okay.
and it's been
It was hard for me to parse exactly what she's trying to say at this point, and I'd actually recently read it in the manga and then watched the anime episode of it, so I've kind of gotten a handle on it, I think. And it's that she thought maybe she was being overly harsh with what she was saying about them acting like villains, but she still stood by it, and she thought, she'd at least helped to talk them out of it, and didn't think they'd actually still go through with it. So when they actually went through with it, and they still did it even though she thought it was really wrong to do so, she continued to really think it was wrong to do so, and didn't think she'd be able to interact with them the same way again afterwards. But then that thought made her really sad. And so she just wanted to find a way that they could get back to common ground again, so that they could be friends and be happy again together. Which is really nice. Like, I like that they didn't... If I'm interpreting that right, I hope I am, because
I think you are. I'm thinking it through. I think that's exactly what you meant.
Yeah, I like the idea that she didn't just, turn around on that and suddenly think it was okay. That she still thinks they did a stupid thing that was wrong and they really shouldn't have done it, but she doesn't want to lose them as friends because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that that's the direction they took with it instead of just turning it around. That's way better and more nuanced as a character moment for her. So
it's a good moment for Sue, and everybody is, they're like, "We're sorry, Sue. We didn't know that it would cause you this much distress," and they try to make friends again. But it is briefly explained that this whole dorm thing was everyone trying to take their minds off of what just happened. It was a nice distraction because we didn't know how to interact with each other anymore after that. It's a very different world we're living in, so we want to get things back to normal as best as we can, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it makes like, in another show, this would just be like, oh hey, back to silly hijinks. This is like, we're trying to get back to silly hijinks. We don't know if we'll actually get there, but we want to get back there. It's a nice place. So, lots of good character moments.
Yeah. That's pretty much the episode, though. So
there's no after credits scene.
Nope.
That's pretty much the episode. I really like the dorm room chapters.
They're pretty good. It's all a lot of very subtle, minor little notes about the characters that you can get from scenes like this. So they're always great for just fleshing out characters in ways that aren't necessarily required to understand the story or the characters in broad strokes, but just serve to make them a bit more three-dimensional.
As a writer, one of the best ways you can try to flesh out a character is describe what their room looks like and what objects they have, how those objects are organized.
If they're organized,
yeah, how they're strewn about, if they're strewn about. And that helps you to really understand your characters. And I feel like this helps add depth to some characters that maybe have not gotten a lot of screen time or a lot of focus at all. And Bakugo is probably asleep during this because he's got a lot of focus. We're going to take it away from him for right now.
Yeah, because he is about to get quite a bit more focus.
He is... I'm going to say arguably, but it's pretty much certain he is, like, the second main character to an extent. Right alongside Deku. He's also number one in popularity in every single poll after a certain point. So, yeah, he's number one and Deku's number two, which is funnily enough is...
Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Representative of a lot of things. So, it's interesting. So, yeah, I look forward to the next episode where we're going to start getting the training for the super moves, and best girl will hopefully appear again.
Casey's happy.
You read the manga, so you know what's happening next.
Yeah.
This is the weird type of full interest in which we both know the source material, but we both really want to talk about the show.
Yeah. All right. So that's episode 51, and we'll be back whenever episode 50. I don't fucking know anymore.
I'm gonna be out of town for the next few weeks.
Also true. So yeah, that's probably.
So I don't know if you want to try to go solo or whatever, but I won't be back for a while.
All right. Well, we'll figure that out, and whatever happens, happens. So that was episode 51. We'll be back when we have episode 52 done and recorded. So, bye everybody.